Hey guys, welcome to the Simpademic Friday night version. A little bit of a hot one here. I have to respond to a couple comments to last night's video that I have here, and I will have to do it. I'm basically half right and half wrong, and I'll tell you I'll tell you which one each one is. Um, the part I was right about was as far as women not women publishing these videos on social media such as TikTok or YouTube, saying that they want simps or whatever, and then they at the same time they don't. And so I've come to the realization that I think it's kind of middle ground on this one. I think a lot of these women who post these particular videos, this is their true colors, but I think there's another half of it where they're doing this basically to go viral or to generate views. And so I think it's a combination of both at this point. I think a lot of women do like the simps and they like the attention that they give them. I think the other half really don't. And I don't think anybody even respects them, to be fair. But at the same time, I don't think I can use the overall scenario to say that it's causing, it might be causing a reduction in the sympidemic, but as I mentioned last night, it's never going to entirely go away. There's always going to be desperate men out there who are just going to be hungering for any sort of attention from women and will go to all sorts of extremes to get it. And so I will say this, a lot of these women post these things on social media as attention getters, and for others, that's who they really are. And I think it's a little bit of a split. You've got half women that are doing this for attention and trying to go viral by acting this way, even if it's not necessarily how they feel. And yet others, this is who they really feel, how they really feel about men, simps, and that type of thing in general. These videos about women not wanting to be approached, mixed with ones that women asking, where are all the good men? Why do they want, or they're like, why don't men approach anymore? And again, it's a bit of a mixed bag. I think some of these are just trying to get attention and they're trying to go viral and trying to get views. And the other ones, that's kind of how they really feel. And that the example I just gave is kind of a mixed message. And it's one where it's resulted in a lot of confusion, and I'm not going to argue that point at all. I think a lot of men are confused. I think I'm confused about whether or not women, we're getting mixed messages about women begging, where are the good men? And other ones are saying, we don't want to be approached. It's this mixed message which is causing a lot of confusion and kind of resulting in the exploitation of these videos by manosphere channels. I think they make it too easy for the manosphere channels to promote this narrative, but at the same time, as I've mentioned before, a lot of those channels are faceless channels. These are people that are not going to be held accountable for their views because they either use AI voices or they will use a voice but they will not show their face. And I'm never going to be somebody like that. I'm always going to be, here I am and here it is, that type of a guy. And at the same time, I'm not going to give away too much about, who I am in specifics. I'm not going to give you guys my mailing address or anything like that. But at the same time, I want to analyze everything in total. And in the case of last night's video, I think I failed to do this. So my apologies for that particular part. And as far as the future is concerned, I'm going to be a lot more deliberate with how I do that, because that is actually my strength, is being deliberate in these types of matters. And again, I think we have a case of 50% of one and 50% of the other going on here. Women who are sending out mixed messages, 50% on one side, 50% on the other. And then ones that are saying that, they like simps and they beg for the attention. That's one half. And the other half is you men are despicable and you men don't have a respect crowd on the other half. I think a lot of these women are posting these videos both ways as a means of attention getting and trying to go viral and trying to monetize their platforms. Kind of like myself in a way, but even though I do this because I love to do it and not because I'm necessarily seeking to get monetized, but at the same time, if it happens, awesome. But I like to do what I do, and so that's why I do it. I just enjoy it, and if it never becomes a monetary thing for me, that's fine. But I will always be open, honest, and transparent, and I will do the best I can to be a lot more analytical about this. So that is my promise to you folks in the future, and I do apologize for not doing it in this particular instance. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that for tonight. Again, I've done a lot of talking, been to a lot of doctor's appointments today. I've been to a couple of them, and I'm very tired. And I think most people are by the time we get to the end of Fridays. Most of us work very hard for our living, and that is it. So toodaloo. Hopefully I'll be back with a little bit more of a detailed and better thought out episode tomorrow night on Saturday.